Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, Mindsplice Control. So I haven't played this deck in quite some time, and Mindsplice Control is a very fun, very sticky type of control deck that hinges on Mindsplice Apparatus, making all of your spell costs less. It's an amazing card, it's got great ability. The only downside is that our meta game right now is very aggressive, so we might not even be able to curve out to Mindsplice Apparatus before we die. So a lot of the part of the deck is to help us stay alive. The other side of the deck is to fight against Uber Control with cards like the Mirix, with cards like Sunfall, with cards like Devious Cover-Up, so that we can exile their big threat, we can counter their big game-swinging spells like Breached Multiverse, and if they're just counterspell deck, we can kind of overwhelm them with a number of Mirix. That's the idea of the deck. The deck list is pretty standard. I did do a little bit of fine-tuning. A lot of decks I've seen run a lot of Devious Cover-Up. Some decks I've seen run 4 Witness the Future. Some decks I've seen run no Sunfall and just Farewell. I don't think any of those are correct, because we see a lot of aggressive decks. We need more Sunfall, and because we don't see that many drawn-out control decks that are doesn't run Counterspell, like Orzhov decks, right? As long as we're not facing those decks, these cycling effects are not that great. And if we're facing against Orzhov, having 4 of these, cycling the graveyard effects, right, I should say, are probably good enough. So that is the whole sort of description. Let's talk about the deck list. So in the early game, don't look at these 1 drops with X. They're not early game cards. March of the Otherworldly Light. I have 3 of them for exiling artifact, creatures, or enchantment with mana value X or less. It's synergized very well with Apparatus. Basically, reducing it so that we can cast it whenever we want. We also have Syncopate, counterspell for the same effect. Then we have 4 Syncopates, counterspell for the same effect. We have 2 Fateful Absence, something that you gotta remember in today's meta. Even blue-white control, even full board wipes, something we cannot remove are Planeswalkers. So we're going to need some instant speed Planeswalker removal in the form of Fateful Absence. We also have 1 Disdainful Stroke to counter against a big swingy spell, or even just a Shieldred, and 1 Negate for a big swingy spell, or counter our opponent's counter spell. What you may notice we don't have here are Make Disappear, because those are early game counter spells that does not play well late game, and in the early game we don't really need as much counter spell as removal on board. Then we have more X spell cards in typical sort of blue-white fashion, right? We have a board wipe that also give us some value, but we don't run too many of, and that's White Sun's Twilight. We only have 1 of in the deck because we have so many cycling the graveyard effects that we only need to do this once to win, and if our opponent blows us more after we do it, we'll just cycle our graveyard and try to do it again sometime in the future, or our opponent will tap out. We do need to have 4 Silver Scrutiny, the card draw card that will draw us as many cards as we need. 2 mana plus X, right? We have 4 of to Silver Scrutiny here. 2 mana plus X to draw X cards. Where X is 3 or less, we can cast it as instant. If X is 3 or more than 3, we have to cast as a sorcery speed. But hey, you know what? We get to reduce a lot with Mindsplice Apparatus. We can cast a sorcery speed to draw 7 or 8 cards. For 2 mana, we're totally fine with that. Then we have 3 Union of the Third Path to gain some life and draw a card. 2 Temporary Lockdown to lock down all those red decks, and maybe even soldier decks. And then we have 2 Witness the Future, again, like I said, to cycle our graveyards back into our deck. And we get to pick the top 4 card, which is pretty good, right? If we have Reduction, this is 1 mana, look at the top 4, and put 1 in your hand. That's not too bad. Even if we reduce just by 1, that's still an Impulse, which we can accept that. A Sorcery Spin Impulse, not great, but acceptable. And then we have 4 Mindsplice Apparatus, the namesake of the deck, and 2 Devious Cover-Up for that big swingy counterspell. Counter target spell, and then we get to look at 4, or also that spell that's counter is exiled this way, and we get to look at the 4 cards in our graveyard and shuffle them back into our deck. Pretty good. And I love the fact that it's shuffle, not bottom deck, right? So if it's shuffle, whatever Witness the Future puts into the bottom deck now all gets shuffled up, so that we don't just have White Sun's Twilight that we want to shuffle, or we want to go back to the deck to be on the bottom. We get to shuffle it so it's somewhere in the middle. That's hopefully the idea. Of course, we have 4 Sunfall because we need to have removal so that we don't die, right? Sunfall, we don't have to cast it with reduction. We can just cast it turn 4, turn 5. We don't have any mana accelerations here, so this is going to be turn 5 at the earliest. Hopefully no Thalia. Thalia's probably gonna make us cry. And then one Farewell to fight those enchantment decks if necessary. And then look at the land base. We have one Eiganjo, 4 plains, one Otawara, 4 islands. Of course, blue-white, we have Adarkar Wastes, 4 Adarkar Wastes, 4 Deserted Beach, 4 Seachrome Coast, 1 Blast Zone to get those pesky, counterspell deck, to fight those counterspell decks with a land destruction that they cannot counter. 1 Demolition Field, which is just another Field of Ruin, but I wanted to use Demolition Field. I want to normalize using Demolition Field because this is a way better card than Field of Ruin. And then we have 2 Mirrors, just for that against that counter spell. That's the whole deck list. Now let's go and try a few games. Is a standard ring? Yeah. Let's go. Alright, right-click a card during a game to zoom in, giving you more information. Unless it's a flip card, then you're out of luck. Better go online and look at what that flip card does. Alright, we're thinking Zod. Are we going to have to kneel before Zod? He looks like he's mono-red. He's going first. He's definitely mono-red. This is not a good mono-red, anti-mono-red hand, because we've got a tap land, a colorless land, and then some really heavy spells. Slightly better, but not really. We're going to put back an Apparatus. We don't need 2 in our hand, or really any right now. I don't know that they're mono-red, because there's a Sliver Sleeve, but they're going first, so there's some form of aggro. There you go. And now I know. Alright, so we're not going to be able to curve out to Farewell for sure. That is the sad part. But we are going to play a tap land first. We get Fateful Absence next turn. I don't know if that's enough, and we don't have another land. So that might also be a problem. But against Mono Red, really, we just lose anyways. They go first. They're roping, so they probably have a lot of plays, right? They're totally not roping because they're, asleep. Doesn't want to play Magic. All of the above. Feldon? Oh, look at that. Who would have thought that coming? We get a Sunfall, which is okay, but we don't get a land. So if we don't draw a 3rd land, I'm just going to leave. But Kumano? Alright, that's fine. We might have to Fateful Absence of Swiss Sphere. I don't like that at all. Depending on what he plays, though. Yeah, our opponent's brain dead. I don't know what's going on, but he's just looking at his hand. Not gonna block. Play with fire. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. Swiss Sphere. Not to take 3 damage here, right? The Feldon, I'm not gonna block, so I know it's 2 damage a turn, and it's scary, but it is what it is. Alright. Bye. Opponent goes first, hit every card on curve. We're going second without lands, with 26 lands in the deck, and oh yeah, that is Arena for you. And Magic the Gathering. We're already mulligan too, and that's even more amazing. Alright, we against Czar, fun. Let's he's got a hood head, so opponent goes first, another mono red. We got March into a bunch of Syncopates. So March can't even be activated. And do I want to mulligan this hand? It's not a good hand. Definitely not a good hand. But can I mulligan into something better? I don't think so. I don't like keeping 2 landers. Okay, so they're not what I think they are. Brothers War Sleeves. Interesting. Alright, they're gonna look at my deck probably. Yep. Don't look at my deck. Look at your own deck. I countered it because I also exile it, so I get a 2-for-1 in the, the backside of that. Not great, but something I had to do there. Scrutiny for 1. Witness a card. It's gonna flip, so I'll let it flip. Jace, huh? Syncopate for 1? Yeah, sure. Why not? My Syncopate, you monster! Alright, so we can march this, but we're not gonna. Submit 0. That's sad. It's also very sad. And we don't draw a land, so... Now what do? Just exile the Glutton? He's got 2 cards left, so... if I don't exile the Glutton right now, he gets to attack me, which is not great. I'd much rather exile the Glutton. But... I tap myself out and he can play a whatever drop he wants. Wow. Automatically choose 3. Interesting. Alright, we'll get rid of our Union. Not great. Not a great start. I don't think the arena is pushing Mindsplice though. So you can see the draws that we're getting is awful because arena is not pushing this deck, right? Well, guess we'll have to do it in response to something. Probably has a counter spell, right? We'll be able to draw 2 cards. Drawing 2 cards is not great. Him countering Mindsplice is also not great, but that's fine. Oh, he didn't counter it. Does he have removal? Blue-black. I don't know. Blue... Oh, okay. Not removal, but almost removal, right? So he's got 1 card left. He's hoping to draw into maybe a counterspell. So let's do this first so he can't counter it, and then we have Sunfall live next turn. Oh, that's fine.
For the sake of Phyrexia, I will keep watch.
Yeah.
Nothing could be more vulnerable than your memory.
Alright, still no lands for us. So, just put some cards back, I guess. Or we can Scrutiny for... No, Scrutiny's no fun. Alright, we'll get the cover-up back. We'll get the... No. We'll get that back. Do we want Farewell? We want Negate for sure. And March is not that useful. So... Is it only these 3? I guess it's only these 3. Okay, this is a good card. Do I want to take it though? I need lands. Let's take it. It's fine. Lands are for chumps. We got Disdainful Stroke. We got Fateful Absence. We got plenty of things that we can do. Graveyard Trespasser. He's gonna trespass into our graveyard. Can't stop that. But it's fine. We got more Witness. That's why you need more than 2 cards. Some people think you only need 2, 1 Witness and 1 Devious Cover-Up, or just 2 cover-ups, and that's not good enough usually. I gotta go to pass. Say goodbye to your Jace.
I will iterate on my...
Hey, we got a land. All right, so we want to Sunfall 1 Glutton. Kind of had to here, huh? I don't want to Witness the future into this board here. I can draw 2 cards, which is not great here, drawing 2 cards against a Glutton. So, yeah, let's just do it. There's nothing really he can play that's that scary. Mainly because I have a Disdainful Stroke. So, anything big we can counter it. Can't counter that. He's gonna draw a card, discard a card.
Powerful won't help. I'll do it myself.
No, he's gonna make a ninja.
I've got all kinds of connections.
You do that. I don't have any connections. Do I want to make a 1/1 just to attack him? I waste my mana though. I don't want to do that. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright, so I can't block the 1/1. That's annoying. I can draw 3 cards, but I don't have to do it right now. So I can witness the future again. What am I witnessing into though? A union? Into a Fateful Absence? Alright, so we want the Fateful Absence. We want the union. Do we want the other? Oh, we don't have another union. So, nothing really else. Do I want to march? Does March hit anything? March hits this token. Do we take both March? Do we take a temporary lockdown? I don't need another Sunfall, so let's just take 3. Alright, opponent's thinking about something. Maybe he'll counter the witness, which, sure. That's a land. Union into a land, that's not that bad. Right? Yeah, I think I can union into a land. Well, I don't think I can union into a land. I hope I can union into a land. That is a land. See? No, I can do it. Alright, so his Kaito's gonna go to 2. He gets to draw a card for free. Now, I can make him draw a card for free. Or, no, I can make him draw a card for 2 instead of drawing one for free. I think that's warranted. Yeah, you draw that card. You draw that card.
Oh, that's some serious counter intelligence.
That's exactly what happened. The counter intelligence. Founding, huh? Cast an instant sorcery spell. Mill 4 cards. Or exile. Okay, you know what? Let's not let him do that. There you go. Now you get to choose whatever you want. We got some lands. A negate? Okay, we can live with a negate, I guess. We got a lot of mana, so let's activate this and attack. Can't block with it, might as well attack with it. Oh, he's got nothing to exile. Cut down. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know if this deck runs mirrors, so maybe I should just use my field. Why not? Huh? Why would I decline? Maybe Island was better there. Didn't think that through. Oh well. I'm just gonna keep top decking not the best cards, so at least my hand is full of counter spells, so whatever he plays gets thrown out the window. Maybe it's a breach deck. I can last 13 turns, so hey, you know what? If I don't draw anything in 13 turns with 24 cards left, that is a new ability unlocked. We got a Mirrors, so that's pretty much it. Just gonna overwhelm them with 1/1s. Oh no, I'm at 11! Yes, you got the cut down. Drawing cards out of his hand's pretty good. Second Mindsplice? Not gonna play that. Not right now anyways. I think a White Sun's Twilight with a bunch of Mindsplice will be pretty good. And how many removal can he have? How about no? What kind of instant speed spell could he have in blue-black? I don't... He can look at my deck. I don't want him to do that. Second Mirrors. That's interesting. Alright, let's go for the one attack. Oh wait, I got a disdainful stroke for that. Oh no, I can't block it. One, two, three, four, five. Huh. That's a bit risky because he can look at my deck. I don't want him to look at my deck. I don't know if this accelerates me too fast. Too fast. And it turns out it doesn't. Now I'm at 18. Yeah, that's fine. I need to keep 2 blue up, right? Yeah. I need to keep 2 blue up for this. Slowly but surely. And don't call me Shirley. Scrutiny. Wow, that's a lot of draws. So, 1, 2. Do I want to draw 10 cards? I don't want to draw 10 cards. Let's just draw 7 cards, right? A lot of Mindsplice that I don't need in my hand. Okay, so he's tapping himself out for this. I'm gonna counter it. Is he gonna quit right now? I don't know. But let me put Witness the Future, Negate, Disdainful Stroke, and Syncopate. Take action, and then he quits. Ha! Take that, you blue-black counterspell deck, you. No match for my blue-white counterspell. Yeah, that's basically it's a mill deck, or my opponent was playing a mill deck, and are continuously cycling into our graveyard. Basically counters their strategy as long as they don't mill us within 1 turn, right? And that's why we gotta counter every Jace. The life damage they dealt to us didn't matter too much, although the graveyard trespasser was kind of annoying. We were able to fight it. That's the only thing I can say. So now we're playing against Arthur. Guessing a blue-eye humans deck? I just assume everyone's aggro. Alright, this is a way better hand against aggro. We got Lockdown, we got Fateful Absence, we got 3 lands. Let's see what we're fighting against. Alright, it's aggro, but not really, sort of. Kind of deck. Thalia. Well, everything we wanted to do is now out the window. Copper Coat. Ow. Alright, we can hold up Fateful Absence against the Copper Coat. If he doesn't play anything scary, Temporary Lockdown will lock everything he has down. Adversary. Alright. We'll take the 5. They have green in their deck, though. That's a questionable thing to us. I don't know if they have some enchantment removal. Just tech to kill the lockdown. If he does, we're so screwed. Brutal Cathar. Okay, so he doesn't, or not yet anyways, let us Union into a land, hopefully. We could Scrutiny into 2 cards. Right? Scrutiny into 2 cards maybe is a better way to get a land. I do need a land. There's a land. So all we need is 1 more land, and then Farewell will get him. Nope. Whatever I thought was going to happen just unhappened. But that's fine. This is 4 damage. It doesn't quite kill us yet. And this will counter the Thalia attacks. Got a lot of counter spells. Halana Elena, so that's what that did. That's fine. It hurts. It hurts right now. But this costs 5, huh? Uh-oh. I thought it was gonna be enough. It turns out it was not enough. So we're gonna gain some life, and then we're gonna have to march the Halana and Elena. I think that's the plan. For 4. Oh wait, we can just Fateful Absence to Halana and Elena right now. Still alive at 12. Not drawing a land. Uh-oh. Oh boy. This is about to be a big damage to my face. We're at 2. But guess what? 2 is not 0, and that's all that matters because... And to say sayonara to all your creatures. And... For good measure, what do you have? Halana Elena? What do I have? Scrutiny? Scrutiny's pretty good. I have 1 in my hand though, so... Let's just exile all creature in all graveyard and be done with it. I want my apparatus though, so... Not gonna exile all artifacts. You can have your clue. Brutal Cathar. Brutal. Draw a card. Shouldn't you draw first? Alright, finally we get our land. So, pay 3, submit 0, take out a Brutal Cathar before it flips. We got Counterspell live. And do we want to Scrutiny for 3 cards? We don't have to do it this turn. Good luck. Plaza of Heroes. That's it? That's all you're gonna do? Alright, well, time to Scrutiny for 4. Do I have to discard? Discard 2 cards? Jeez. Alright, Disdainful Stroke's probably not that good. I'm gonna take that out. And then maybe the Negate's also not that good. Maybe another Scrutiny. Let's just take out the Waste. We'll draw more lands. Every spell he plays gets countered. So goodbye. Oh yeah. You see that dreadful lockdown that our opponent is trying so hard to overrun us with? Couldn't do it. Even if they had 2 Thalia attacks and a Halana Arena to you know, I was gonna ramp us, but I meant to say rush us. Didn't matter. As long as we can curve out to a board wipe, we will win. And even though the only board wipe we drew was 1 Farewell instead of any of the 4 Sunfalls, we were still able to do it. I just took an extra turn and we barely made it out alive. We had 2 life, right? But if it had Sunfall, it would have been a different story. He would have nothing left. What saved us that game was the temporary lockdown. Without that, we would not be able to do anything. He had a whole board of creatures overrunning us. And temporary lockdown locked those down, and his green did not include any enchantment removal. So that teaches you not to remove enchantments or artifacts in your deck, because the way we won was 1 lockdown and 1 apparatus. Those are our win cons for that game. And that's basically how you want to play this deck. It's very strong against control, it's very strong against aggro. It doesn't win if your opponent, well, not your opponent, but Arena is cheating for your opponent and gives them all the cards and makes you get nothing. But other than that, right, we got a pretty good run out of this deck. I do love it. I do think, I don't want to say it's the best deck, but it's definitely one of the most fun deck to play because there's so many dimensions, so many thought process going through about how you should play against every other opponent. And it has legs against every opponent. That's what I love about a lot of the decks that I, ramp up and, kind of try to boost up in popularity, because I think the decks that are most fun to play are the ones that has dimensions against every other opponent. It has ways to beat every opponent out there. Because if you just play one deck like Mono Red Burn, and if your opponent just plays a life gain deck, you're out of the luck. You're entirely out of luck. If you just play Soldier and your opponent has field wipes, you're out of luck as well. If you just play Mill and your opponent has these cycling back into the graveyard effects, you're also out of luck. So you really got to think about a deck that has all kinds of answers, and that's what I love about Mindsplice Apparatus. Or Mindsplice Control deck. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.